This is the story of how a stranger's kindness changed everything for me. It was one of those days where nothing seemed to go my way. My car had broken down on the way to work, and I was already late. To make things worse, my boss wasn't exactly thrilled to see me when I arrived, which put me in an even worse mood. All I wanted to do was go home, but I needed to stop at the grocery store first to pick up some things for dinner. As soon as I walked through the doors, I saw a lady in front of me struggling to reach something on the top shelf. Without hesitation, I rushed over to help her. "Is there anything I can get for you?" I asked. She looked at me with tearful eyes and replied, "Oh, thank you so much for your help. It means a lot." I could see that she was very upset. And although I didn't know why, I wanted to make her feel better. So I told her, "Don't mention it. I'm happy to help." After grabbing the item off the shelf, I turned around and continued down the aisle. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I should do more. I mean, I knew that this was probably just a small part of her day, but it would have been nice if someone had helped me when I was struggling earlier. Still, I had other things to think about, and I didn't want to dwell on it any longer. So I picked up the items on my list and headed to the checkout. When I got home, I unpacked the groceries and noticed something strange. There were 2 apples in the bag instead of the one that I had picked out. I didn't think much of it at the time and assumed that the store had made a mistake. However, the next morning I woke up and everything changed. It was another ordinary day. I got ready, ate breakfast, and drove to work. As I sat at my desk trying to focus on my tasks, I couldn't help but think about the kind lady from the grocery store. For some reason, I felt compelled to go back and find her, but I had no idea how. I thought about going back to the store and asking the manager if they had any information about her, but I wasn't sure if they would be able to help me. Ultimately, I decided not to pursue it any further. After all, it was probably just a random encounter, and there was no need to read too much into it. But then something unexpected happened. As I was taking a break, I went to check my phone and saw a message from an unknown number. It said, "Hi, I hope you don't mind me messaging you like this, but I saw you at the grocery store yesterday, and I wanted to say thank you again for helping me reach that can of spaghetti sauce. It really meant a lot to me." My heart skipped a beat when I read the message because I knew who it was from. It was the lady from the grocery store. I couldn't believe that she had taken the time to message me. I felt a surge of gratitude and warmth spread through my body. I knew that this was more than just a simple act of kindness. It was a reminder of the importance of human connection and the power of a simple gesture. I quickly typed out a response, thanking her for the message and letting her know that it was no trouble at all. We exchanged a few more messages, and I learned that her name was Sarah. As we talked, I couldn't help but feel drawn to her. She was funny and kind, and I felt like I had known her for years. I knew that I had to meet up with her soon. We decided to meet up at a local cafe, and I couldn't wait. When I arrived, I saw her sitting in a corner sipping a cup of coffee. As we caught up, I learned that she was going through a tough time in her life. Her husband had recently passed away, and she was feeling lonely and isolated. I felt a pang of sympathy for her, and I knew that I wanted to help. I offered to buy her a drink, and she accepted with a grateful smile. As we talked, I realized that I had fallen in love with her. It was a feeling that I had never experienced before, and I couldn't understand why. I had never met anyone like her, and I knew that I had to do something to show her how I felt. At the end of our conversation, I asked her out on a date, and she said yes. I was over the moon with joy, and I couldn't wait to spend more time with her. Our first date was at a cozy Italian restaurant, and I was nervous. I wanted to make sure that she had a good time, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to live up to her expectations. However, once we started talking, I relaxed. We had such a great time together, and I knew that this was something special. In the weeks that followed, we started spending more and more time together. We went to movies, concerts, and even traveled to a nearby city. I was head over heels in love with her, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. She was more than just a partner for me. She was my best friend, my confidant, and my rock. She understood me like no one else, and she always knew how to make me laugh. One day, while we were walking through the park, I knew that I had to tell her how I felt. I stopped in the middle of the path and turned to face her. I told her that I loved her and that I couldn't imagine my life without her. Tears welled up in her eyes and she whispered, "I love you too." I was overjoyed and I felt like the luckiest person in the world. Since then, our love has only grown stronger. We've faced challenges, of course, but we've also celebrated many victories together. I know that no matter what life throws our way, we'll be able to face it together. It's been several years since that fateful day at the grocery store, and I still remember the feeling of overwhelming emotion that I experienced when I first saw Sarah. It was like fate had brought us together for a reason. I knew that she was special, but I never imagined that she would become my wife and the mother of my children. When I think back on the day a stranger's kindness changed everything for me, I can't help but feel a sense of gratitude. Not only did I find the love of my life, but I also learned the importance of human connection and the power of a simple gesture. The kindness that Sarah showed me that day was something that I will never forget, and I am so grateful for the impact that it had on my life. These days, it seems like everyone is looking out for themselves, and no one wants to help others. But the truth is that we all need help sometimes. And one small act of kindness can make all the difference in the world. I know this firsthand because I have been on both sides of the equation. There are times when I have needed help, and there are times when I have been able to help others. And I can honestly say that the times when I have helped others are the times when I have felt the most fulfilled. If you're feeling down or like you're not making a difference in the world, I urge you to do something nice for someone else. You don't know how much of an impact it might have on their life. It could be something as simple as buying a coffee for the person behind you in line, or offering to help an elderly neighbor with their groceries. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it comes from a place of genuine kindness. People can sense when you being fake, and it won't make them feel better in the long run. I know that this might be difficult for some people, but if you try it, I promise you won't regret it. It's amazing what a little bit of kindness can do. A few years ago, I had the privilege of meeting someone who changed my life forever. In fact, she became my wife and the mother of my children. If I hadn't reached out to her, I don't know where I would be today. But thanks to a chance encounter and a little bit of courage, I now have the family and happiness that I always dreamed of. So if you're feeling lost or like you're not making a difference in the world, remember that one small act of kindness can change everything. Don't be afraid to take a chance on someone or something new. You never know what might happen. And if it doesn't work out, you'll at least have the satisfaction of knowing that you tried. Remember, the greatest risks often lead to the greatest rewards.